So welcome to WinternetWeb's podcast Wired Together with Melanie Winter.
And Jason Winter.
Using our radio voices.
Right. That sounded cute, didn't it?
And we decided today to ask AI to ask us questions. So we gave a bit of a prompt of the importance of small business and how they operate in today's society. And so a couple of questions got pushed out of that prompt.
Yep.
And so we're going to read the question and give it a little answer. So no AI voice today,
We started trying to do that, and we were like, okay, it's rattling off too much, so let's just go ahead and jot it down and move forward. So
yes.
All right.
Sometimes you have to give it brevity.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the first question here, let's look at it. It said, what strengths do each of you bring to the business? And how do you keep from stepping on each other's toes? All right, y'all. This might be our last episode, depending on how bad this goes down, but...
Ha, ha, ha. Well, I figured we start with the strengths.
Okay.
We can do that. So I figured we'd answer for each other. The biggest strength we have in our business is, Jason has a huge plethora of knowledge on the computer industry, what's coming up next. Pretty much can touch it. It fixes itself. It's really, really, really weird. He's got a one with the wires kind of thing going on for him. So that is a huge strength. That talent is absolutely been what made the business, what started the business, so that's...
Yeah, I guess to...
He's the talent. I'm the agent, if you will.
That's not necessarily fully true. I mean, yes, I'm familiar with computers, and I've messed with them for far too long that I'm going to talk about, but I will say, and she said, yeah, I started the business, and when things were going, it is nowhere near where it is now, and I desperately needed her to be a part of it, and we had to go full time to make that possible. And I guess it's kind of like Melanie has a lot of strengths that are more difficult for me. A lot of it coming with thinking in a bigger picture, and also kind of connecting. I don't want to say connecting with humanity. I can connect with humanity. I guess it's in the scope of sometimes I have to get into a zone, and she has to bring me out of it or encourage me to go into the zone when needed. She's definitely the creative. She's the one that can look at a project, really pull from people what they need, help sketch up some ideas with the design, knowing what we're able to do. And that collaboration, I think, is just completely vital. She helps pull me out of when I'm deer in headlights. Sometimes prods me and goes, okay, well, this project here, what do you think they need? I'm like, I'm not sure. It's like, well, maybe you call them or I'll call them, and we'll, because you get to a stage where you need some feedback, and she's excellent at that. And we couldn't be where we are with just me.
We would definitely not have even started if it was just me. So
right. So
it's one of those. It's got to be. It's got to be both. So right. Yes, does that lead to arguments?
well, yeah. I mean, we're married and we work together.
Hilarious. Yeah. So stepping on each other's toes is one thing that we. It is very difficult, and of course, we worked in other industries. Right. To have a beef or concern or and bring that to a coworker that you're trying to establish in a relationship with. It's very difficult to do that. The thing about being a mom and pop is it is not difficult to argue with your spouse.
Yeah,
that
true.
Is an automatic. It is like you're just kind of chucking along, and then
Right.
why did you do that? So it's
Yeah, I
the
guess
freedom of the argument is actually a really nice thing because it's not
we can go
odd
right
for us to.
Right.
I mean, we've had children and
Oh,
bought
yeah.
a house together, which is probably more than being married because it's a lot more paperwork. We've had 21 years of marriage and a life together. So, yeah, it's not hard to disagree and say, hey, this is not working for me.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way because if people argue in the workplace, there's always a restraint of, well, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to offend them. I don't want to
Stir
make
any
them.
pots.
I don't want the HR director to call me to the office because I said something that I probably shouldn't have said. And I will tell you, there have been conversations that we have had that probably, I wouldn't have been called to the HR director, but it's like, this is my wife, and it's not my, employee, So that does give you a little freedom because you're able to have the really crucial, important conversations, either being about
we can
your approach.
jump right into the dig
Right.
of the matter, and we know each other well enough.
And that does make you better because you're able to get that put aside. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, but thanks, AI.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's, because we copied and pasted these and we tried not to really look at them. So, wait, okay, here's another one. Do you want to read the next one?
Okay. Do you have a moment where something went hilariously wrong in your business, but looking back, it has brought you closer? I guess my answer to that would be when we first started, very, very early. Everything was hand coded. We have since been able to buy into a lot of different software that gives us freedom, but also it's not the blinking cursor hand coded concept at the same time. So. But at one point, it was starting with a blinking cursor and writing code.
That was the time then for the
right. I mean, that was the
there was
standard
software,
practice. And so there was a point in time where it took hours to find a semicolon.
Oh, I see where you're going.
And so that was, and of course, all the code is Jason. That is not me. I am one of those, okay, we need this to pop, or we need this color, or we need to,
readdress this differently.
Right. This is how we need to organize it for the navigation.
Yeah.
But for Jason, it's the code. So I can see lines of code. It looks like hieroglyphs. It's like, what part of Egypt is this from? And so he was digging through these lines of code and
I was climbing
missing
through a pyramid, man.
What ended up being missing a semicolon.
Yeah, one semicolon broke the whole thing.
And when he finally found it, I think it gave me a lot of clarity on what I thought. We both thought it was hilarious because it was so small.
Yeah.
But it took a couple days.
Yeah, because when you have pieces of code that then reference other pieces of code, you're digging through and you're not sure what necessarily tripped it. With the tools we have now, it's easier to find, but,
I feel like it gave me a lot of, it brought us closer because it gave me a lot of clarity of what it was that you were really doing, and how intricate that whole process was.
Just a semicolon.
Right. That something like that could break the whole thing.
The hide and go seek champion since 1953. Yeah. And we started, of course, like she's saying, with all code, and that does give us advantage being able to tweak and modify, and I use the word hack lovingly. There's
still plenty
here.
of code.
White hat hacking here, to make things work. But we've moved on to industry standard tools just because compatibility, and it works so much better with a lot of things. If we had to design something from the ground up to work with a lot of these things now, it would be ridiculous. So, it makes us, having that background, I think, has been really important to our ability to not be like, okay, well, this asks us for A, B, and C, but they want D. You can't have that. No, we can find a way. So.
Yeah, we don't. It's good that we can't. We don't need to tell the client you can't.
Yeah.
And we. I guess you don't have to tell me you can't, because it's usually my
you
big,
look at you,
ridiculous.
Like, I've seen what you've done. Will you do it?
Right,
okay,
that
fine.
big ridiculous idea. Like, can we do this?
And it's like, oh.
It's like, I know you can. I have faith in you. So it gives us a lot of freedom.
It's flexibility.
Flexibility. Yeah, flexibility.
Yep.
That's a better word. Flexibility. So.
Yeah. So what was it? Something hilariously wrong. Okay. Think about another time, but it certainly was hilarious, and it kind of went wrong for me because we're working on a website for a local. What do you call it, babe? A trail,
The haunted trail?
Haunted Trail, yes, the Haunted Trail. Well, we could say their name. It's Pappy's Haunted Trail, and we were working on their website.
Fabulous site.
Oh, yeah, and we were really excited. Melanie came up with an idea. See, again, she's the one who comes up with something and says, "Can we do this?" And
Crazy idea.
Yeah, well,
that led into you having to do my crazy idea.
No, I know. Well, I mean, it would have been fine, but so her idea was, okay, you're on a website, and yes, we know that, but think of it as if you're going to a website for Haunted Trail, why not create part of the experience of that on the website itself? So as you're navigating, and if you've been to a Haunted Trail, and I've been to maybe one in my life, and nothing against what they do, but I don't like the scary things. Make the experience in such a way that as you're navigating, stuff pops out at you. And so I hand-coded these little icons that if your cursor or finger with, mobile were to hit, it brings up an experience. So, of course, with any coding, there is trial and error. And there was a lot of error, meaning this thing was popping up when it shouldn't have, or I forgot it was there trying to do something else and it would jump out at me.
So pretty much the whole time he's working on it is like,
Oh, gosh. No.
Oh, no, not that.
No.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, there might have been some bad words there,
so
too.
He was talking to the website a lot.
Yeah, and all right, I'll self-disclose. She had to go run an errand and get back to the house, and I'm like deep in the zone working on this all by myself. And there was a time where I'm like, so you're leaving? She's like, yeah. I'm like, can you wait like 15 minutes so I can leave with you? I felt like the little boy that was afraid, had to turn on the light to run down the stairs or something, or the dark hallway. But that was quite funny, and
brought us closer in proximity.
Oh yeah, right, in proximity. Oh,
it's like, I'm just gonna hang with you for a minute.
Yeah. All right, what else we got?
Yes. So next question. What's a project or client experience that really made you say, this is why we do this? I like that.
Yeah, that's
a great question.
And we have a lot of experiences where sometimes someone will be leaving. We say that all the time, and it's like and that's
we've met so many. I mean, amazing, wonderful people.
We have.
New businesses are
they're very exciting.
Fun.
There's a lot of energy.
Yeah,
it's like I want to do this, and it's
excited.
like yes. I'm glad to see that.
This is like part of their new business and what they want to really accomplish with it.
Sure.
And then, of course, we have older businesses that are just, needing a rework and that sort of thing. They've gotten a website before, but
they really know what they're doing. They're established.
Want something a little more robust, or
right. Take it a different way.
Somewhat recently.
Okay, you got something.
We have had an artist that had spent about 20 years trying to find a designer that would be able to help him understand, or not understand, but help him put his scope of art
Right. It was a lot.
online in a way that was actually a
Yeah.
good experience. His art is massive.
Yeah.
So we're talking
More like physical sculpture type
right.
stuff. Yeah.
So like one of them, the largest is about 45 feet. Was that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
very large.
It is.
Scoped art. So hard to put something like that online without being able to really visualize what's going on.
Yeah. And I guess also his challenge, just as big as the scope of the actual art pieces, was the commentary. And a lot of times there were sketches and proposals that were part of. And when you think about it, yes, you have the final product, but really the art is in the full package
Right.
of how it was put together.
And the draw out.
The story of that
right,
in
the
itself.
Story. So we had the challenge of creating all of this art in kind of a story form that allowed each piece of art to tell its own story. And and it was a very large project, a very we had to sit there and really just kind of put our head into it and figure it out.
Yeah, how do you
navigate this through in a very pleasant experience?
Right, almost like a museum in itself. How do you segment and walk someone through the different parts without getting overwhelmed?
And the final product, again, he waited 20 years to find someone that could really show this off in the right way. And the final product, I feel like, was just incredible. And thankfully he did as well.
Right.
Because it wouldn't have been worth it without that. But, and it was, really something you could walk away being very proud of.
Yeah.
And so the why we do this kind of feeling of, that was a big undertaking for what he needed.
Mm-hmm.
And the listening that it took to get there, and then being able to put something out there, and it's like, this is it, this is why. Because it's to do a website, you don't always have that listener on the other end that's well, tell me about your business,
sure,
or tell me about your art, tell me about tell me about you. I need to know all the ins and outs so that I can help you put this together in a way that's really showcasing the you inside the business.
And it really, when everything is said and done, in this case, this becomes almost like a portfolio and almost like a biography. In his case, an autobiography. He presented all the information, so it really creates a legacy that here's the culminating piece that represents my life's work. And it's not something you want to just, and we've had some people with a similar project, and they call us and they say, well, this other company, they said, well, just give me the stuff and we'll put it together and all this, but it's a story. You're not just sitting there and copy and pasting and throwing stuff together. You really need to get down into where's the personality of this individual in how it's presented. So I'm glad we crossed paths, and I mean, it was a very enjoyable website to make.
Yes, and that's one thing about all of our clients. We enjoy the personality.
Yeah.
We're not a set in one personality type kind of people. We enjoy everyone.
Yeah.
And every walk of life, and the rich nature, especially in our little area, we have so many people.
Yeah.
They're coming from a lot of different backgrounds. Yeah. And so we get to learn a bunch of amazing
cool
stories
stuff.
And these cool things that
industries
people have done.
You never would learn things about.
Right.
It's like, I had no idea, and that's exciting. And when they're excited, that excitement goes into the design process.
Yes, and that's part of the personality that we love to have that shine with everything we make. So
right. Yeah, well, these questions so far have been really good.
I keep saying AI is very thoughtful.
It is a male voice.
Yeah.
We can change that. But, yeah, anyway. Is there a philosophy or guiding principle that drives how you approach web design or client service?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, after doing this long, you kind of have to have your own, reasons. And I
Well,
would.
in style, I feel like the easy answer is we have developed a process or a style that's called what we call turnkey.
Yeah.
So, just in like hiring contractors to build a house, we will, obviously not as expensive as a house, but still,
No.
but it is
God, that'd be great.
a project, and so we base it off of the project itself, and then it is completely 100% full service. So,
Service is definitely.
you get that based on that project price, and so at the end, you're holding the keys.
Yep.
So if you want to be the one that
Whatever level of
interest you have, if you want to be the one that's adding to, if you need us to just kind of add every once in a while, that sort of thing,
right.
But that's based on kind of your needs, and so the whole thing is based on what you need, where you need your bathroom to go, or you need the the layout to be, how many bedrooms, so it's all based on like your business type,
Your vision.
the vision, what's needed as far as the larger picture. Are we doing e-commerce? Are we doing some sort of bigger database? Or are we doing something more of a brochure?
Sure.
And so the whole thing is one project, and then we do all of the parts. So we can write the copy, we can we do the design. We of course any input is absolutely
it's necessary, but
as anybody would. But we've had some clients that have almost no input.
They just say, look, I know
what I'm doing.
I need something, and
go ahead and
where
get
we
it
go
done
from there. Yeah.
And it's like, cool, okay.
Yeah.
And so it's completely open book of okay, now we're kind of the one putting it together and figuring out the navigation process.
Yeah.
And then we'll have other people a little more okay, this is exactly what I need, here, and here. These are the colors. This is what I,
and that
this
really
is the
depends.
vision I'm looking for. And so we take that and we, put it together that way. So it's really based on,
and there's no one way that's right. It really comes to the personality of the individual and, their desires.
Oh yeah. I like both, because one is just, it's a complete and utter freedom, but then you also have the caveat of, okay, I have no direction.
Yeah. And how,
and then the other
how do we read
is
them
direction. And then, so if you need to steer a different direction to make it work, you might have to, okay, let's have this conversation to see if this works for you as well. So it's kind of just depends on the, that one's really
that's
got too much, didn't I?
No, you're fine. No, but you're right.
Turnkey style, getting to know the client is, and being, intimately involved in the business of, what are you trying to put online, really getting to know each business. So that has been so freaking cool.
It has.
Because there's so many different types of businesses that you didn't even think about.
And no project.
You've never learned a piece about it, and then all of a sudden you're digging deep into like waste management,
No
and it's like, wow, this is fascinating. I had no idea,
into waste management.
Well, it is. There's several, there's so many different small businesses out there.
Oh, you're right. You're exactly right.
And, we also do civics and organizations and things like that. So there's so many different types of industry out there that you can do and learn from. And so just digging deep and learning these things has been just phenomenal.
It is fascinating for sure. And
we don't want to just like, we want to learn it. We want to really dig into okay, how do we put this business out there?
And we don't want our process to be limiting. So it's not like, okay, we do this and now we do this. It's let the project kind of speak for itself and kind of guide us in how we draw it out and bring it along. So yeah, that was a big one. Okay, and I think we got one more here.
Heady.
It's what makes working with small town and rural businesses special for you. Okay, AI certainly understands our scope and everything.
Well, for one, but not everything is small town and rural.
No.
So we can actually, and we have, we've done work for people overseas, in Jamaica. That was so cool.
Yeah.
We've, was it somewhere in England?
Yeah, England.
So we could, Virginia Beach and other areas in Virginia we've worked in,
Sure.
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of go Texas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're all popping out now.
Yep.
But in other words, it's not the online atmosphere makes it really easy to do anything anywhere when it comes to something like this. But yes, we are, as a small town rural business, and working very closely with our own area.
Yeah.
I mean, it's home.
It is. And
It
it's
is
not
home.
in the same way, we're wired together, and there are other small businesses that we have found where it is, husband, wife, and so you kind of get to meet your own.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit more common here than in larger areas. Oftentimes people are part of larger industries and corporations, and it doesn't quite have that entrepreneurial, here's my idea, the whole American spirit of let's make it happen.
We're still very, very mom and pop here. It's not hard to have, to
in generational businesses,
find mom and pop.
Yeah.
And that is that kind of working with our people, the people who are just a part of our industry, as far as the mom and pop business. It's really been quite helpful because we totally get each other.
Yeah, we do.
And being able to kind of slightly commiserate and or see the struggles of the other.
Mm-hmm. We understand the challenges.
I get it.
Yep.
And it's really
kind of becomes your own support group.
But yeah, it's like a support
world,
group, and such a labor of love with our people, as far as our area, our town. We use the word town very loosely,
right?
But we have a larger rural area. It's not just a town, but the whole area that we're very close, and we love the people. That, we love each other in a very family way.
Very much
and so. We would do a lot for each other, and I think that's very clear when it comes to working in each other's businesses and doing and supporting each other. We want to make sure that's the cool thing about small business. We all need to do very well.
Yeah, we do. And
there is no competition as far
families,
as we all need to do well.
Yeah.
But to push all of us up.
Yeah, even any business that is doing well helps the area, helps the service to the area, helps reputation, helps others, do well.
So it's this big, you got a bunch of cheerleaders.
Yeah, you do.
And that's fun. It's nice to be kind of a part of that little group.
Right, definitely. Wow, these are some really good questions we had. And we just thought it would be neat to do this segment, and we try to drop AI as our third chair into the segment in some way. And a lot to think about.
AI getting deep.
Yeah, getting deep.
Maybe too deep.
Some of those. I'm sorry. Some of those probably had us ramble, but look.
I do. I feel rambly. I'm sorry.
No, but it's when you sit back and reflect and try to pull all this out, it's it really makes you think at the same time. Some of these answers you just don't have. Oh, here's why. Just kind of really makes you dig into why you do it. And
right, it's not canned by any means.
No, and so this was a good idea, babe. All right, so I think that's probably going to do it for this episode here on Wired Together. So unplugging for now,
but always stay connected.